How's it going, guys? We're here to check out the top skins this week, and it looks like the mixing table will probably be making it in with this week's big update. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's pretty much the main thing being worked on staging, and they're doing a lot of fine-tuning and adding stuff here in the beginning of the week. So we'll just have to see how that goes. So, jumping into it, there's going to be a lot of tea-themed stuff, but some other stuff was pretty cool as well. So we're starting with the Stirs Burlap Set. So you can see it's made out of, kind of looks like old hazmat and so forth. And then, I'm not too sure what the tea part is, I guess. Not sure what makes this tea-worthy, or anything. But definitely a cool scrap together little burlap set. Next, we've got a continuation and update to the Uproar set with the gloves and boots. You can see everything you enjoy from that set. It's got that very tactical look, but it's got a very kind of like hand-painted on mercenary kind of vibe going on to it. The boots, of course, have the same thing going on, some splattered paint and very kind of like military-esque looking boots. Lastly, we've got a high-qual set, and this one is the Master of the Forest, and yeah, it looks like it's got the little green heart. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that the colors of the actual, like, tees, they already changed. Green was just a placeholder, the icons changed already, like, hearts are red now, so I don't know if the green's going to go with this, but the chest piece itself is very cool and creative looking. Back here, it looks like it's made from an old mossy tree. And then, same thing kind of going on here. It looks like a stump with moss growing around it, which I thought was kind of cool. And the mask itself is very different. I like the kind of weird drawn, carved-in teeth going on with little vines and everything. It's definitely very different and has a very swamp monster kind of vibe going on. Next up, we've got the Deployables, and we've got quite a few. Starting with a Tea Party table. It's been a while since we've seen a table skin. Now, the one thing is Helk is a bit particular about things looking too squashed, and I kind of feel the same way. You know, it just doesn't look quite right. But I think they did a good enough job with this. You got the, you know, menu sitting here and some plates. They kept to mostly flatter items, so it doesn't look as weird. Has a little bit of depth to it. Then over here we've got, of course, the tea bag, sleeping bag. I mean, how can you not, right? So it looks like an old mossy, crusty tea bag, and I think that's hilarious. Next, we've got several boxes, and same thing here with the green logos for the actual teas. These have all changed colors. You may want to check them and, you know, update them with that. That might be something that prevents it from happening. But one way or another, definitely a very nice looking set. Then over here, we've got that old kind of like Boston tea crate look. Fine tea imports. You've got a tea leaf right there. Up on top, we've got prime tea. 30 cents a can. It should say scrap or something, since that's kind of the currency of Rust. Over here we've got another one. It's a nice wicker basket for your tea. Labeled nicely, tea, on the sides and the top. And then over here we've got kind of a more silly one. It looks kind of like a mixing table box. It's got its own little furnace built in, and a bunch of cute little tea things going on. Up here it looks kind of like a grill, and then you got more of the weird little teas. I definitely really dig the hazmat guy. Hilarious. Love it. So there's that. And that side. Then we've got a bunch of small boxes. We've got, of course, some import tea. More stuff here. Not sure what those are. I guess those are just standard things that would be on a box, maybe. Over here we've got another one. Again, not sure about the green if they meant to do that, but it definitely says buff teas on it, so that's pretty straightforward of what it is. Over here we've got another pretty straightforward one. It just says berries, and it's a berry box this way up. And it's got the literal, you know, some of the, what was it, 4 of the 6 berries sitting there on top. And then lastly, we've got this cool little box here, and it actually has like this little blue design along it that kind of makes it stand out quite nice. And it's just kind of simple and nice and painted. There's a couple little tea bags sitting on the top. But altogether, it's just kind of a nice rustic looking kind of box. Next, we've got a couple furnaces for you. Starting with this beautiful furnace right here. It is the Chemist furnace. And as you can see, it's pretty obvious why. There's a bunch of chemistry jars heating up in there. Very cool. And then we've got another pretty unique furnace over here. Nothing too crazy with the glow, but it's got a very cool design. I love how detailed the stone is, and that's what made something with this really stand out. Next, we've got doors. We're gonna run all the way back down here. And we've got a vending machine. This is the tea vending machine. It says hot tea shop. You've got the little different berries going on around there. If you check out the back of it, it's a pretty standard vending machine. Then moving on, we've got two wooden doors for you. We've got the little tea shop. Of course, it has a bit of glow, so I'll be sure to show that to you guys shortly. On the other side of it here, you'll see that it has a little close sign and some more kind of glowy vines going along with it. Over here, we've got a more natural kind of door, and it's got all sorts of vines and so forth. It's got that kind of generic tea leaf symbol there. And more vines going on back here. Again, with the green, I'm not sure if we're going with just green and plants or, you know, again, because it wasn't updated yet. Then we've got another sheet metal door. This one is pretty awesome looking. It is the Chemist door by Andy Boo. And it has that very rustic sheet metal look. It's very artistically carved, and I think this is something I could see a lot of people really digging. It has some vibrant colors, but it's not glowing, but it's definitely rusty too. So it kind of fits all those vibes for rust. Then we've got a very different door. This one has a very Greek or kind of Romanish feel to it. You've got the berries up around a steaming cup of what kind of reminds me of cappuccino, but I know it's supposed to be tea. And yeah, it just has this very marbled look. And the red kind of looks a little bit weird with it. This one I was on the fence with a little bit because it almost looks too grimy or out of place. But it's definitely a unique enough door where I wanted to make sure to show it to everyone. Then we got a couple garage doors. One here is a continuation of the box we got too long ago. We've now got the recycling warehouse door to match along with it. And of course it does have a little glowy light on it, but otherwise everything else is pretty standard. Moving on, we've got a chemistry lab door for you. This is the laboratory roll-up door by Odyssey. As you can see, it's got all sorts of warnings and looks like it's just set up for a perfect laboratory or mad scientist brewing station. Then we've got something more around the art and graffiti kind of feel. We've got the stay healthy, and again, the tea, gotta change that to red. It's not green anymore. But stay healthy, drink tea. Definitely very cool artistic work here. Definitely love it. Lastly, we've got the Potion Master Armored Door for you. It does have a glowing and non-glowing version, but honestly, the glow is just so cool. How can you not like it, you know? So, we'll be sure to show that to you here in a sec. Take a look at both sides. You can see it's matching on both sides. And there you have it. Alright, so here we got the vending machine. Again, not too much going around on the back there. No glow or anything. Then, as I said, this tea shop door definitely has a really cool little glow. You can see the hot, boiling tea pouring in there. Take a look at both sides, of course. Then, as I said, this has that little potbelly kind of grill put into it. Definitely a very cool effect. Then run all the way down here. Oh, it looks like that garage door does not have a blinky light, so excuse me there. We've got the armor door, which is absolutely awesome. And the two furnaces, you can really see the mission just pop at night with this one. Alright, let's jump into the tools and weapons. So, of course, someone had to make a teabag rock. So here we go, the teabag rock. And pretty much just looks, you know, like an old teabag. Next, we've got a hammer. And it's, you know, that premium tea. It looks tea stained and kind of just really old school. It's quite simple, but it has just a very nice little design to it. Moving on, we've got a cool tool set for you here. These are berry themed and very bright. This is the Drink and Farm set. So hey, you can farm and I guess some drinking is encouraged. Of tea, of course, right? And of course it has to have its matching pickaxe to go right with it. Moving from that, we've got a knife, and it's made to look like an old China tea set. But yeah, don't let that fool you. I think that might not be porcelain. And it looks pretty sharp, so yikes. Then we've got a bow away from the theme of tea, but from a popular set. So we've got this awesome neon colors going on with the venomous bow, continuation in the venomous set there. Next up, we've got a python for you, and this one is themed after the racing idea. Of course, cars are still a pretty recent addition. This one has some very bright green sights. They are not a glow sight, so I will not be showing it at night because it does not glow. Go ahead and do a reload for you there. And let's pop on over to a redo of a custom SMG. This is part of the Cloudshot set. Definitely has a little more going on with it, but not too much of a change. It just has a little brighter colors, a little more designs and work put into it. Next up, we've got a AK for you. This one is very, very unique in the designs. It is the Sinful Brew AK. Even down the sides, it's all kind of tethered and messed up, but you've got some bright red there to help guide your sight. And you've got this green and red potion mixing around in there. Very, very cool. And on the sides, you've got this kind of like crazy eye going on, and then a bleeding eye with a poison skull in there. So definitely very unique for sure. Oop. Then, lastly, we've got an LR for you. It's part of the Monuments Memories set. As you can see, it's not too much change from the LR other than it's been dyed kind of like a darker black steel. But what really pops is these stitched on little pieces that have little monuments. Even down the sides, it's red painted, of course, not glowing. And you've got that little stitched on recycler. So that's going to do it, guys. Which ones do you want to see make it in the most? Sound out down in the comments below, and we will see you as soon as the update drops this week. Thanks for watching.